All right, y'all. I'm retarded and I clicked the button that I shouldn't have. So we might as well just start the show right now. I already fucked it up. All right, so we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna run our intro or run our commercials and shit, and we'll be right back. Oh, wait, I forgot. I got it on mine. All right, here we go. Sponsored by Power Brand Systems. Need help getting new customers for your business? Let Power Brand Systems help you grow with their powerful tools. Visit powerbrandsystems.com/NinerFaithful Radio for more info. If you like our content and would like to support the show, consider leaving us a tip in our tip jar at NinerFaithfulRadio.us/tip jar. Join our exclusive membership community where you get exclusive NFR content not available anywhere else. Join our exclusive chat, 20% off of all non-sale For the Faithful by the Faithful gear, and much more. Visit portal.ninerfaithfulradio.us/login to join.
For the Faithful by the Faithful Season 4 apparel is finally here. To see this year's designs and also save 20% off of Season 1 through 3 designs, go to NinerFaithfulRadio.com/shop.
Get all the highlights from all the Niners press conferences every Saturday on Niner Faithful Radio Presser Review. Follow us on social media at Niner Faithful Radio on Facebook, Instagram, Tumblr, and TikTok, and at Niner Faithful R on X. All right, y'all. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and run the countdown right now and everything. Oh, by the way, just to let y'all know, we had a mutiny. I'm the captain now. Yeah, that's right. All right, we'll run this shit and then we'll be right back and run the intro. All right. So I figured y'all seen all y'all need to see about that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, faithful of all ages. Whoops, don't need to show that yet. Faithful of all ages. Let's get the show cracking.
Line of the Chargers. Taylor out to the left side, and Ricky Waters to the right. And a play fake. Young goes deep middle. He's got Jerry Rice. Touchdown 49ers. First touchdown of the game. Comes after only a minute and 24 seconds. 44 yards. Touchdown pass to Rice. He sets another record.
You are now tuned in to NFR Weekly News Wrap, brought to you by Power Brand Systems.
Damn, my beat's hella knock. What's cracking, Jamie?
Hey, hello.
I think it's been like a fucking couple years and shit since we done the show. This shit feels hella weird.
For both of us, yeah, it's weird.
It feels hella weird. All right, y'all, we're just uploading a few slides and everything like that right now. We can go ahead and get started with the transactions of this week. I went ahead and deleted. We did sign an offensive lineman earlier in the week. Went ahead and deleted that, but
Okay.
we went ahead and we signed Sebastian Gutierrez to the practice squad. Jamie went ahead and shared this. I actually already have the slide, so I had to reload it. Waived Ronnie Bell. Opened the practice window for Dre Greenlaw.
Nice.
And basically officially ended John Feliciano's season. Which I'm not gonna lie to y'all, that does kind of suck.
Yeah, it does a little bit.
Especially now that in a second here we'll get officially to why it fully sucks. Matter of fact, we can go ahead and do that. So Brock will play. It is official, like a referee with the whistle. Demetri Flanagan Fowles is questionable with the knee. Chris Conley questionable with the knee. Kevin Givens questionable with his groin. Renardo Green is questionable with his neck. Demo is out. Nick Bosa is out. And Trent Williams is out. And honestly, he was spotted basically needing a scooter to get past the lock around the locker room this week. Yeah, that's not good at all. And I'm curious, but honestly, it's a big angle.
Oh, that's interesting.
We gave puts it started over Trent because of his ankle. Papa J, what's cracking with you, brother? How you doing, Svam?
Heyo.
David, what's cracking with you, bro? Hold on, I got you right now, bro. Yeah, so I don't know. I'd be curious to see. I posed a question to Jamie, or Jason on Tuesday. I'll pose the question to you right now, or I'll rephrase it for you.
Okay.
Hold on, loading audio.
Same old sorry ass man.
What's up, David?
Nice.
What would it take for you to say goodbye to Trent Williams this offseason?
Like, release him, like, completely?
No, like a team trading for him. You're not releasing Trent Williams.
Oh. That's a good question. I'd have to think about that. Like, I think my thing with that is, like, we don't have anybody else. Like, there's nobody else I feel comfortable at left tackle right now.
I thought Jalen, like, look, not starter and not getting rid of Trent Williams comfortable, but I thought Jalen Moore played fine on Sunday. I was actually.
I'd have to rewatch it, because I was getting frustrated watching that game, the Green Bay game.
Trust me, I get you.
And yeah, and so I mean, I definitely hope that the Niners have that. Like, I want to say, kind of in the back of their heads a little bit, which is why I think the deal to get his contract deal was so took
There
so
was an
long
issue
as they were
with it.
because of his age, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the fact that he's using a scooter makes me nervous because I feel like that maybe this injury is more serious than they're letting on a little bit.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'm curious to see, especially if we lose this week. I am curious
Mhm.
to see how we treat the rest of the year. You know,
Mhm.
especially if we lose this week, because as Kyle was telling it, they have no idea when him and Nick Bosa are coming back. What's cracking,
Mm.
Jason? I let everybody know we have a mutiny, and I'm the captain now. Yeah, that's right. No, the only thing that surprised me, David, is that it took this long. Like, that's the only thing that surprised me about Roddy Bell being waived. Which to me is what's up, Kim? How you doing? Say what's up to everybody in the chat. Trent is too valuable, such a demand, small market at a position. Yeah, but to me it's it's we're held by the balls. Let's be real. The Niners had no intention on redoing Trent Williams' contract. Absolutely
Yeah.
no intention. That
It feels that way.
basically they were grabbed by the balls, and Trent knew it. Trent knew he had it by the balls because he was like, I need you, or you need me more than I need you.
Yeah.
And look, we all wanted the silverback back, and everything like that. And trust me,
I will say this, I will
yeah,
not be
I do live
surprised.
in California. So
I will not be surprised if we look for a future left tackle this offseason, whether like possibly in the draft. I don't know. I don't want to say that because the Niners have not been historically known to draft high for a tackle, like an offensive tackle.
bless you.
But I think that should be on their radar at least a little bit, unless by the end of the offseason they have complete faith that Trent Williams is going to come back. And everything, because who knows if this injury, which feels like it could be more significant than just however they phrase it, like an ankle or whatever they're phrasing it, if it's more significant, there might be some interesting conversations this offseason. Who knows? I don't know.
See, and that's my thing about it, because even if it's back, Trent says, yeah, I'm coming back. Everything's all good, everything like that, especially if it's the same ankle. Look, we all love him. Probably one of the best free or trades, I don't want to say in Niner history, but definitely in the Shanahan era.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was the value and everything. It was good. It was a smart trade.
You got a starting right tackle 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. You got your starting right tackle for at least 5 years for a third and a fifth round pick. I'll take that all day, every day. Shoot that
after
shit.
coming off having a really solid, really, really good left tackle of Joe Staley, right back to back, which I think pretty much very close to that. So that trade is really good. I remember how hyped everybody was when we made that trade because it was we didn't give up a ton of compensation. We all know how good Trent Williams was. And
he was literally drafted to play in the Shanahan system by Kyle's dad. Yeah, look, nobody's going to argue the trade. Everybody who's listening to the show knows me, knows I'm an absolutely huge Joe Staley fan. I think Joe Staley is probably one of the most underrated players in franchise history. And that's saying much because he's definitely given his props. So I was really curious to see if we could upgrade from Joe Staley. And it took one play. It took one play of me watching Trent Williams for me to be like, yeah, we upgraded at left tackle.
Yeah.
So where would we be without Trent? But my whole question is with Trent getting up there in age, and the only reason I bring this up, with Trent getting up there in age, next year, Bill's going to be our highest paid offensive lineman. We're not going to. Aaron Banks is. We could all agree with that, right? We'll see what we do at center. Even if we draft a center, which I know I was trying to look it up, but I can't find it right now. Chase Senior had what I thought was a great offensive or offseason plan for the Niners, and it involved switching Dominic Pooney to the left side.
Interesting,
right? Changing Colton McKivitz to right guard, drafting a right tackle, which of course, obviously, with the plan that he would, when Trent retired, move to left tackle, and then obviously addressing a center somehow in the draft or something like that, or going to find a big money free agent center. Besides Trent Williams, which I don't even think this is position, I think that the Niners have not paid their offensive line, minus Trent Williams, which I think that's strictly just it's Trent fucking Williams. I don't think that's we're gonna pay our left tackle. I guess
it's the name and the pedigree of Trent. It's not
exactly.
Yeah.
Except for center, when we got Weston Richburg and we got Alex Mack.
That's true.
And then obviously we get Trent. Alex Mack retires. We got a bargain bin center. Because if you ask me, I mean, I went back and Jason had said it on Tuesday. And I went ahead and went back. And I'm so done with Jake Brendel. I'm so fucking done. I'm so done watching him get blown up play after play. I mean, there was Dave Lombardi, who we all know. Dave Lombardi is the antithesis to Grant Cohn, right? Grant Cohn's always doom and doom and everything the Niners are doing. You know, the Niners can't fucking trade their way into a paper bag. Everything that they do is fucking wrong and everything like that. Dave Lombardi tends to be more positive and more optimistic and everything. Also, I hate sitting at the airport parking lot. So it's even he pulled out some tape of Jake Brendel and was like, this is bad. He showed one play where McCaffrey probably would have had, like, he might still be running if Jake Brendel simply just made this block and he can't get to the second level anymore. And I think that's beyond, CMC's a little rusty, you know, whatever it is. If you ask me we had the number 2 running offense last year, right? It's pretty much all the same players. And you would argue we've upgraded with Dominic Pooney. So what is the number one issue? Not getting to the second level. Linebackers are free to make tackles. That is the exact same, exact issue that we have in the running game.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
I really hope, I know it's not Kyle's style and it kind of irritates me, but it's kind of becoming an issue. Not wanting to address the offensive line unless he absolutely positively has to, he normally never does it until he actually has to, which is
or something
driving me up a wall, because that is becoming a problem. And that is partly we need to, I know balancing all of the players and everything and the talent, because you have to have, you can't pay everyone. You can't have a superstar team. It's not designed that way for right now. But it's just we really got to figure something out and boost this O-line, because the D linemen that are coming out that are in the NFL right now are insane. And we're just going to face more Aaron Donalds, Chris Joneses, and everything like that moving forward. And we have to have some way to stop them. it's just like
Not you,
I
I
don't
was
know.
talking to
It's
Jason.
driving me up a wall. And I really hope that this off season they finally do something. But I'm not holding my breath because I know we're probably going to have a lot of other issues that we're going to have to address in the off season, more than likely. But we'll see. I don't know. I just know it's not Kyle's style, but I really feel like he needs to pay a little bit more attention to the O-line because I think that is becoming a big thing.
My biggest issue is that it's this: is that when you have a bargain bin, when you Jake Brendel was a free agent for a reason, and I've said this all the time with the Shanahan said we got to the Super Bowl with this group. Oh fuck. Yeah, you know what, Jason? This is probably why you don't let me touch shit.
Yeah, just
Shanahan
don't switch the things. Just leave it until we have to switch it.
I got it. No, my mouse is acting retarded. See, and this is basically, I think I'm trying to say what David's trying to say. It's almost like we're cursed by our success.
Yeah.
In the sense of you look at 2019, best D line. Salah's not coming. I'm sorry. Like I would be shocked.
And what happened in that offseason? Chris Jones, in that Super Bowl, Chris Jones blew up the offensive line and Jimmy couldn't do anything.
Yep.
And what happened in 23? Same freaking thing. Chris Jones runs right up the middle and the guards can't handle it, which, like, I'm not saying anything because he's freaking Chris Jones. Like, what are you going to do? It's one of the beasts of the linemen. So, like, you can only do what you can do, but it's just like this is the problem. Is we're never going to get past that until we figure out some way. I don't know how they're going to do it, but until we figure some way of addressing the O-line.
Well, what pissed me off about the third down in the Super Bowl was the mental error. You know, like you just didn't simply block him. If Chris Jones beat,
that too.
If Chris Jones beat Burford, you tip your cap and you say, "Hey, that's why Chris Jones is the highest paid D tackle."
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
and that is the thing that is happening this season is they're not blocking because I don't know if it's just I don't know what it is, but there's always a good chance of somebody running free straight at Brock. So, like, I don't know, but that is something that I really, 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 really hope that they address in the offseason because it is driving me up a wall. It really is.
So what I said meant by cursed at our success is that because we got Dominic Pooney, which I said I was wrong, but I said the Niners win the Super Bowl. That this is why I picked Dominic Pooney as my rookie of the year. I said because if the Niners go on and win the Super Bowl this year, it will be because not only did Dominic Pooney turn a weakness into a strength, right? And I think minus last game, which nobody played an awesome game last week. You don't get beat by 28 points and only one player has a shitty game. Like that doesn't happen. So the offense, the whole team was shit. I have a feeling this is going to happen. They're going to think that you could just consistently go in the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth rounds and get starting caliber talent.
And like I get it because they hit a lot of their star players later in the rounds, and so like I understand it, but that is just pure. That is partly is luck. If you just happen to find somebody who has the athleticism that you like and can be trained and has the time to develop and stuff, and that you have the support around to build them up. You're not always going to find that in those later rounds. It's much less of a chance finding that in the later rounds. Like we've gotten consistently lucky in those first few drafts, even though we've made mistakes in the first few drafts. But the picks that we have hit. And so
well, I mean, like you got lucky that George Kittle was a 5th round pick. Let's be real. Best tight end in team history. Best tight end in team history was a 5th round pick. Dre Greenlaw. You were lucky to get Dre Greenlaw in the 5th round.
Fred Warner, 3rd round pick. Right?
Yeah. See, the third. I mean, Frank Gore was a third rounder. Joe was a third rounder. So when you start getting to the third round, I feel that you can still get some pretty consistent players.
I'm not even
But
saying it's just frustrating because like there is like, and I know part of it is we have spots that they want to fill, or there's a player that they feel really fits their system that they really want to get that can help them, that is like they feel like is an immediate help or whatever they want to do. But man, I don't know. I feel like they've been ignoring the O-line for a long time for the most part. I mean, Poone's been a great pick. I've really liked, from the most part, what we've seen from him. Like, that is great. And if we had hit on some of the, like, if McKivitz had hit a little bit better or played a little bit better, maybe we would be feeling this way. But it's just like, I don't know. I don't know. It's going to be, and this offseason, I think it's going to be very interesting. But
we never have a dull off season with this franchise.
We never do.
James,
we never do.
What I was talking about before the season when we did our season preview show. Dominic Pooney was my rookie of the year to watch. My prediction. But I have absolutely no problem with Mustafa. So moving on real quick, I just wanted to throw that question out to you, Jamie, because because it really does feel like we're at a fork in the road of this franchise.
I feel like position. This offseason I feel like is we're gonna have a lot of good offseason.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have a lot of content to get
because it's just gonna be, because I feel like the team is gonna make a decision, however they decide to go, whatever they decide to focus on.
Yeah.
After this season, it's gonna be very interesting. It's going to play a big part in how the team moves forward.
Do you tear it all down and start over, or do you? I don't think so. I think we need to quote unquote retool.
Yeah, I'm with you.
We need to rebuild. You know,
I don't think we're at the full.
I don't think so either.
Rebuild, but I feel like we really got to start hitting on some offensive and defensive. Like, we got to start hitting on some of those picks to kind of start filling in some of those spots to take kind of pass the torch, so to speak, because some of our guys are getting older, and so we're getting into that weird like crossover, crossing point of our stars getting older and us needing to hit on those draft picks and giving them time to develop, and kind of we have to meet that middle point.
I think this year we've been able to cover it by so far, probably say from top to bottom, Shanahan's best overall class. I would think would be this year.
I would agree, because a lot of the draft picks have been really good this year for the most
part.
So yeah.
And you could see some building blocks for the future.
Yeah. Which I think is good.
Holla at me next offseason. I think Kyle's going to get one more year at least. I do. I honestly believe that. Unless something crazy happens. Yeah, I just got a total football bloater. Just reading that comment, like Dre Greenlaw and Mustafa on the field together. Oh, bruh. Also for the injury report, I don't want to ever hear people question Fred Warner. Like, Fred Warner does not need to ever play for another franchise. Like, the man playing on a fractured ankle since week 4.
That's insane, dude.
I mean,
and he's trying to help cover up so many other things that are happening, and he's the captain of the defense, so he's like making sure everybody's leading everything and making sure everybody's set and all that stuff. Like, dude,
I got a clip that I'm going to download for the show tomorrow. That's Fred talking about Dre Greenlaw, and you just hear it in his voice that he's like, dude, I need somebody else. I can't carry the fucking weight of the world on my fucking one ankle. Like,
I feel so bad. Like, man, because there's a specific reason why we like, it feels like Fred and Dre are kind of like
Bowman Willis.
Bowman and Willis, very similar vibe. Two guys who just really play very well together, who get each other, who know how to play together, and have a good read on the defense.
I will add this. I forgot about this when I said Tuesday. Because I on Tuesday I said one of the most heartbreaking things I've seen as a faithful was Debo sitting on the bench in LA at the NFC Championship game with a towel over his head. You could tell that he was very distraught.
Yeah.
Probably, I would put that very close, if not slightly ahead. Because number one heartbreaking moment that I've ever seen as a faithful is watching Patrick Willis walk off the field crying after Super Bowl 47. That's the ultimate heartbreaking moment as a faithful. Number two is probably Debo. May 1A, 2A, 2B is Fred Warner after Trey tore his Achilles last year in the Super Bowl.
Oh,
Just the distraught, and you heard it in his voice, no, and like I forgot about that, and my girl,
like
that
is his
this
guy,
is running,
and that is his like Fred is captain, but that is his second.
Yeah, that's definitely his first mate.
And that is somebody he can rely on, and I feel like that is, and like Fred is like putting himself thin, trying to do the best he can.
When did we start calling Fred Warner the best linebacker in football? 2019 also came 2019 of Dre Greenlaw. I don't think that was
no.
And move on to the next
slide.
I want to take time. Head coach John McDermott. I guess I made the slides too fucking short. My bad, y'all. I made the videos too short. OC Joe Brady and you know what? Fuck y'all, okay? I don't know how to run these slides. All right. There we go. TJ fixed it.
There you go.
Okay. And their defensive coordinator.
Just leave it.
Yeah. So Jason always runs these slides, y'all. My slides, what I do for my shows are totally different. Buffalo's coaching, look, before this year, I really felt in my heart, taking my Niner hat off, felt in my hearts of hearts that Kyle, there are very few games that Kyle would walk in and the Niners would walk into a game and we would not have the coaching advantage. I really believe that in my hearts of hearts. This one's one that I might like. I think Kyle's going to be fine. I think the weather, of course, is going to slow down any offense. Things like, let's be real. We're a West Coast team. It's going to be fucking a million, below zero, winds going crazy, snow, everything that you would think would be a disadvantage of a head coach.
Yep.
And what really, I would feel a lot more confident if we were running the football like the Niners are running the football. The Niners not running the football is an issue.
No.
Yeah.
If Kyle would let Mason come in a little bit more than he has been, but
you know what, Jason? Ain't no nothing gone down the drain, okay? Cuz I'm doing the fucking slides. Leave me alone. So James, you got me all hyped up from our defense. I'm telling you, bro, James is rocking and rolling.
I've been it's just that last game, you guys don't understand, it pissed me off so bad, dude. And I don't get like, I do. Like, the only team that really makes me this mad is the freaking Seahawks. I won't lie to you. They're it's an irritation. And then this game, because like I knew we had a tough game against Green Bay, and I knew we probably I wanted us to win really badly, and I knew it'd be like, unless something crazy happened, it's gonna be tough. But like the fact that we just really went as bad as everybody was afraid of going, I was just like,
that's the thing that made me disheartened. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
How many times have I looked at you, Jamie, and said, "Look, this is the reason why I don't do the post game." And I've given you props for being able to go live during the post game and everything. Although I was damn proud of myself how I held it together after the Super Bowl last year on the post game. I was proud of myself.
No, we did good.
For as heartbroken as we were. Now I totally lost my shit and spent the rest of the night crying in my girl's arms.
No, I was yelling at my TV that night, and I was watching it out with my parents, and I was so pissed.
Yeah, but I was really proud of the professionalism we showed after the Super Bowl last year. They're clearly distraught, but held it together pretty professionally. What upset me about last week is, look, you told me, hey, the Niners can go in the game, no Trent Williams, no Brock Purdy, and no Nick Bosa, and turn the ball over 3 times. Yeah, I would have told you that's a rough game. I would have told you, yeah, Niners probably ain't going to overcome. It's so funny because Vince Lombardi had a saying that you give me 3 turnovers, I'll beat you every time.
Mm-hmm.
Cheese fountain ended up in a tree. Hey, look, bro, I've you see that hole right there in that in this right here? That wasn't there February of this year.
With this Buffalo game, since the weather's going to be bad, it's going to be snowing.
Well,
it's definitely going to be a run-heavy game.
And see, but that's the thing.
I'm begging Kyle, please throw in Jordan Mason a little bit more. I swear to God, because every time he freaking gets on the field, he almost gets a first down. And this is no offense to Christian McCaffrey. He's still getting back into it and everything and all that stuff. And the O-line's not doing him any favors. But Jordan Mason can run in this offense behind this line for whatever freaking reason.
What is he now? He's probably not number 3 still, but I remember Jason brought up.
He was leading the rushing yard.
Yeah, I'm just talking about now. I believe.
Yeah, I don't know if he is now, but yeah.
After the Bucs game, he was the 3rd leading rusher in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
And that's my. I was expecting more pride. More, okay, fine. We lost that game by 10. You lost that game, or at least coming out. Like, if you would have told me Green Bay would have, let's be real. What has been this team's issue all year? The fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Fourth quarter has been this team's issue all year. So if you would have told me the whole game that it was like it was pretty much until the third, fourth quarter, honestly, after it was 17-0. If you would have told me it was like a 14-17 game most of the third quarter, and then Green Bay just piled on towards the end, we started turning the ball over, things of that nature, I would have accepted that. But the fact that before the offense got 7 plays, like, think about it. Offense had 6. There was 30. I think there was 39 plays in the first after like the first 3 drives or something like that. Each team had the ball 3 times, and the Whackers ran like 33 of them. It was like 39 plays, and they ran 33 to our 6. That's what upset me.
I don't know. I've told Jason this when I've been on with Jason, but there is definitely, I felt it since the beginning of the season. There is a vibe. There's like last season, there was a very good, like Debo said, there's a very good vibe last season, like at the beginning of the last season, and that carried them through most of the season. This year that vibe is not there, and it is completely different. And like even with the, like, there's just something, I don't know if this, like, Jason,
you felt it in training camp. I talked to some people that they're like, Brad, this doesn't feel the same in training camp. And what I said, clearly what our motivation was going in last offseason and throughout the pretty much the whole season was, we got robbed. Our quarterback doesn't get hurt, we go to the Super Bowl. That was the Niners' whole vibe. We all felt that, right? We all felt like we were going to whoop the shit out the Eagles. And we were right for it. We literally had not, before this year, or before last year, when Brock finished the game healthy, we had never lost a game with him.
Yeah.
If he came out of the game healthy. The only game we lost. So, all right, brother. We'll catch you on Tuesday, bro. So clearly the motivation all offseason was, if Brock doesn't get his arm damn near ripped off, we're going to the Super Bowl. Right? And that was just the team's motivation throughout the whole year. What's it been now? Especially when you saw what you did when we played the Chiefs. Especially when you saw when you played the Chiefs. Does this team believe that they can take it all the way? I posed this question to Jason before, and I said, are we the 1980s Bills or 1980s Bengals, where Bengals fans look and say, if we didn't have to play the Niners and Joe Montana twice in the 80s, we would have 2 Super Bowl rings. Are we going to walk around out of the Shanahan era, whenever it ends, and say we would have had 2 Super Bowl rings if we just simply didn't play Patrick Mahomes?
There's a very, very high possibility of that happening, unfortunately.
Because unfortunately, you have to. Yeah, I know that
it's just and that is I do like. I'm not putting it on that, but the timing thing of the Chiefs heating up, basically taking over the Pats dynasty right after Tom Brady left the Patriots and everything like that, and becoming the head honcho in the AFC, like, and us heating up at the right moment too. It's just like.
When's the last time
we're just in a bad timeline with the Chiefs, and like the Chiefs are just so good. Even last year when they were struggling, and their defense was not as good. That was the year to beat them. That was the year to beat them.
I truly felt.
And now, like, even this year, they're what? Like, have they lost yet? I don't even know. I haven't been paying attention.
They're 9-1. They lost to the Bills. Exactly. That's their only loss. So you know what, Jamie? I felt last year that the Chiefs were the better matchup for us. I fully believe that. I felt going in last year the Chiefs were the better matchup. And you know, if his butt,
we all wanted it. A lot of us wanted it because we wanted that revenge after the 2019 Super Bowl, and we looked at it and we're like, they're still a good team, but they are not as good as that 2019 team where it was like. So I don't know, man. It's gonna be tough because if the Chiefs keep going the way that they're going, and like we were talking about in our group chat, like if their only loss is to Bills, then maybe our Bills are the only freaking hope to get the Chiefs out of the AFC. But I don't know. We'll have to see.
Yeah, definitely. Gil Belichick gives us a true empire.
Because I would much rather watch the Bills go into the Super Bowl than the Chiefs again. To be perfectly honest.
Okay, moving on real quick to their offense. They have only given up 13 sacks this year. Sentinel brought up a good point on Tuesday, and he said, "Is this a trap game for the Bills? You know, is this a trap game for the Bills?" And I said it last week, you know, to my girl, you know, shortly before the game. I said, look, I've watched this team win games that we've had no business winning. You know, against all odds, like, that's what's going to take. What is going to take, clearly what is going to take is that type of year where you don't expect it. We come out of nowhere, or we get on a hot streak, like the last 6 games of the year, you know, going into the playoffs and everything like that. That's what it's going to take to win a championship, because I'm sorry. I know this is hyperbole and everything like that, but I would put last year's team against pretty much any Niner team, including the Super Bowl teams. Like, maybe the only team I would say would be better is the 84 and the 94 teams. Even the 94 team, you know, you give me some position, you know, I'll make some arguments about some positions, you know, versus last year's team versus the 94 team. But look, if everything, let's all be honest with ourselves, right? We're all faithful in the chat. Nothing's going to change that. You know, we're all faithful. Y'all wouldn't be on the show if y'all weren't faithful. You know, I wouldn't have hired y'all. We're all faithful and everything, but if everything goes the way it's supposed to go, they're going to mop the floor with us.
Yeah.
Now, my thing about that is, so you tell me, hey, T, you go into every game believing the Niners can win, you know, and everything like that. So what? Give me something. Our backs are against the wall. You know, is the 2024 San Francisco 49ers a Super Bowl contender? Well, you know what? We're about to fucking find out right now, because I wouldn't say, I'm not going to say that, you know, put a fork in us, you know, if we lose this game. I'm not going to say that, because the division, I think the division, we realistically might go 0-4 in the division. You know, the Seahawks might lose. The Seahawks might lose. the Cardinals going to Minnesota this week and the Yams playing the Aints in New Orleans. I understand New Orleans is down, but the Superdome ain't ever an easy place to go and play.
Mm-hmm.
Cox feeling themselves a little too much. Got a little cocky coming off a bye week. And really, honestly, the Seahawks didn't beat us. We lost. They didn't beat us. We beat ourselves. I'm sorry. Yeah. I was there. I watched it live and direct. We beat ourselves. So that is my only hope, is that both teams got to play in the weather. And look, I understand Josh Allen. Let's be real. I'll give you Patrick Mahomes. I'll give you not drafting Patrick Mahomes, because you know what? There were questions. There were definitely questions about Patrick Mahomes. He wasn't a surefire. Nobody predicted what this was. I bet you if you put a gun to Andy Reid and whoever their GM's head is, they didn't expect Patrick Mahomes to be this. This.
I mean, that is definitely possible. Yeah.
But I think not drafting Josh Allen doubly fucked us, because obviously we didn't draft Josh Allen, who I will go to my grave saying this. The last two quarterbacks that we didn't draft that grew up Niner fans, you know who they are?
Rodgers.
And Josh Allen.
Josh
Allen were the last two quarterbacks that were like, I'm a Niner fan. I want to play for the Niners. And we didn't draft.
He would be so insane in Shanahan's system. He'd be so insane in Shanahan's system. He is who Shanahan wants.
Yeah.
Honestly. With the physical traits.
Aaron Rodgers and Josh Allen were the last three quarterbacks that grew up Niner fans that we didn't draft. So obviously not drafting Josh Allen fucked us. And you know what also? Josh Allen and the change in his mechanics and him becoming more accurate as he got older and everything like that is the reason we drafted Trey Lance. That is the reason we drafted Trey Lance.
That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
That's the reason we drafted Trey Lance. So we're the Kamala Harrison football team this year. Let's come on. And what part of England are you from, bro? My family's from Cornwall. But anyway, so that's my only hope. Is that for some reason, for the first time in Kyle's fucking history, we can stop a dual threat quarterback from running all over us, and that win's going to affect. I almost would say I'd rather pick the direction we go, to have the win, going with us for the first and fourth quarter, or first and third quarters, or the second and fourth. I'd rather than get the ball, not get the ball. I'd rather pick the direction we kick. Just simply like, hey, I want the back. I want the ball. I don't want to be going against the wind in the fourth quarter.
I agree with that too. The weather's going to be awful, and so it'll be interesting to see. I really hope that there's some, I don't know. I really hope that maybe this loss in Green Bay flipped a switch or something. Gave the guys some sort of we can't go out like this. We got to try to do something. And something happens where something works and they're able to do it. That's my thing. I don't know what else to do because Kyle just starts coming up with something that works more. Because
Jamie, be honest, tell the people right now. Do you really expect us to beat the Lions?
The Lions? No.
So then that already puts you at 9-8. We're not a playoff team at 9-8. So this is
I really, and I talked to Jason about this last week. Maybe this is something that the Niners need this year. I don't want it.
About the same thing.
Yeah, I don't want it. But maybe they need a break from the playoffs this year. Maybe going back to back playoff runs has wiped them, and they just need to not go this year.
I have a
that
boy,
is
my
a
boy
very high
Jeremy.
possibility, and maybe they just need that extra couple months of downtime or whatever to like decompress, give Kyle like some time before he has to get back into football stuff and get ready for the following season or whatever
The mental
happens.
break.
Mental break, because Kyle looks exhausted. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I mean, he's aged like shit.
It's
He's
bad, dude.
aged
If you
horribly.
like, I see videos of his very first press conference, and I'm like, this is not the same freaking dude, man.
He looks so old right now. Like the only person that I've seen age worse is Obama. That is literally the only person I've seen age worse. Is Obama. So what I told people is I have my boy Jeremy, and he'll text me every night now and then after a Niner game, and he looked at me and he said, "Bro, why is it the Niners are always hurt?" And I told him, I said, "You know what it is, bro?" And he goes, "What?" I said, 60 games in 3 years. This football team has played. Think about that, Jamie.
It's a lot.
60 football games in
And I
3
remember
years.
I
And it ain't
listened
like we're the
to
youngest roster in the NFL.
I listened to a clip because Kittle was on some show or podcast or something a while ago. It's a long time ago. And he was somebody asked him what it's like just playing in a football game, and he compared it to being in like a car wreck every week.
Yeah, they say
Like,
that you take like several car wrecks
so like if
on your
you
body.
think about it like that, and like every week you put that much physical strain on your body and that much hurt, like it's going to wear you down eventually. And maybe we're at that point and our guys are reaching that age where it's taking them longer to recover or whatever, and they're not the younger guys that they used to where they could bounce back as quickly, because that does happen. So
yeah,
it's definitely could be a thing where the extra games with playing in the postseason all those years, 60 games in 3 years, is catching up to them.
so
And that is a
much
very high possibility.
like that is so like I remember when I first thought about that, because I was tripping. I was like, how many games have we played the last 3 straight playoff runs and everything like that? And I thought about it and I was like, and I went and I remember looking it up and counting.
Every
and
time we made the playoffs, we get to almost the Super Bowl. We either get to the Super
it's
Bowl or we
basically
get
the
to
years,
the NFC Championship.
the years that we haven't had to play wild card round. Because it's the years that we haven't won the 1 seed. We've had to play the wild card, which is 17 games, 3 playoffs. And then the years that we've made the Super Bowl, we've obviously played the game in the playoffs has been the Super Bowl.
Yep.
And I forget who it was, but KBR had a Niner on, and they talked about the different and let's be real, the Niners. This particular Niner was from the dynasty. I think it might have been Steve Young. I can't remember, but he talked about like, look, he straight up said, he goes, "I never lost a Super Bowl, bro. So I don't know what it's like coming back the year after you lost a Super Bowl." He goes, I never lost one. And he goes, but yeah, he goes, I did feel different. That confidence that you get from getting the job done, and the confidence of we've been here before. People, you hear it all the time. Heart of a champion, all that type of shit. Tom Brady, I don't listen to the TV broadcast. I listen to the broadcast on KBR. So I didn't hear Tom Brady as a broadcaster, but what people kept on saying is Tom Brady, who, let's be real, knows more than knows pretty much more than anybody in NFL history what it's like to come back after both Super Bowl wins and Super Bowl losses.
That is true.
Talks about the physical wear and tear of playing so much football and the mental toll of having, you get almost there. We were fucking. Think about 2019. You were 7.5 minutes away. Last year, you're a 4th and 1. 4th and 1. You get a stop on 4th and 1. You're Super Bowl fucking champions. Your life changes forever. Think about that. From now on, after your name comes Super Bowl champion. Or before your name, for the rest of your life, people put Super Bowl champion. To get that close on a 4th and 1, to be
We
that
were close both times, and they just couldn't.
3rd and 16 hurt me worse. 3rd and 16 hurt me worse.
Yeah, the
2019
2019 one was pretty bad, and I know it's farther away, so it doesn't sting quite as much, but that one is still rough. But
What the reason last year hurt worse is because 2019 I've always put on the defense. Don't give up 21 unanswered points.
Yeah.
Especially when you consider what our football team was in 2019. It was a
that is true. That is true.
What hurt most about last year is when the prize second was of, hey, you give Kyle a chance to go to get it, because Kyle called up the game-winning play. Emmanuel Sanders was open. Emmanuel Sanders was wide open. That's a walk-in touchdown.
Yeah.
And that's what hurt worse about last year is that ego blow. We'll run through these last I want to get to a segment break real quick.
Okay.
Catch our breath a little bit, and then we'll go ahead and we'll rock and roll right back.
Okay.
By SeatGiant.com. Use the promo code NinerFaithfulRadio at SeatGiant.com to save on all your theater, concert, and sporting event tickets, as well as help out this show. All right, everybody, please make sure you go to SeatGiant.com and use the promo code NinerFaithfulRadio. It really does help out the show. Bills are starting to become due, y'all. Credit cards are maxed out. We're definitely going to need some help going forward. So we try to not ask for money for nothing in return. So like I said, you save, you help out the show. Also, later on, we'll play our affiliate link. That's actually really the best because it doesn't cost you any more. You're going to go buy the beanie or the hat or the T-shirt or whatever off the team's website. Save yourself 10%. Help out the show. Okay, last couple slides that we got here. Points against, only 19.5 yards against. What makes this game scary to me is I remember in 2018 we lost the game to the Giants, and I remember standing up, in my seat with Mama Debbie, and I looked to myself and I said, okay, if I remove my Niner hat, who would I believe would win the team? The team with Marquise Goodwin, Nick Mullins, and I forget at the time who our running back was. That was playing that game, or the team that had Odell Beckham. I was talking about specifically in that game, or the team that had Eli Manning, Odell Beckham, and Saquon Barkley. And I said, okay, you Niners are going to put your money on the team that has Eli, Odell Beckham, and Saquon Barkley.
Yes.
What makes me nervous about this game is that. Fine. The offense, like I said, both teams got to play in the weather. Sure, they're used to it. They're off their bye week, all that. But, throwing in the wind is throwing in the wind, bro. So what worries me the most is their defense is fucking legit.
Yeah.
Their defense is legit. And is it going to simply come down? Because I'm still nervous in a one-score game. Am I going to, at the end of the day, am I going to turn off my TV? Am I going to stare at my TV on Sunday and say, what team do I have more confidence? The team that has a washed-up Deebo Samuel, Brock, who's a solid quarterback, but coming off a shoulder injury. But let's be real. I don't care what Kyle says. So mysteriously, your shoulder was so bad that you could not practice last week. And then mysteriously, it's 100% this week. Give me a fucking break, bro. Come on, Kyle, don't insult us. Don't insult us. Am I going to say that? Am I simply going to say, hey, the team with the Brock Purdy with one bad shoulder, a washed-up Deebo, and a CMC who's only played 3 games this year, and a beat-up offensive line, a whole left side of the offensive line that's missing.
Yep.
Because that defense is legit.
Yeah.
That
is the biggest worry because if the weather's gonna slow down the Bills' offense a little bit, but the Bills defense can like
He's
completely
going to slow down our
halt
offense.
the Niners offense. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's
So
the
it could
thing
even
about it.
become a
And
non-factor. That's what's scary. Yeah, that's a good point.
And
Yeah.
whatever the old football saying, it's not the Jimmys and Joes, it's not the X's and O's, it's the Steve and Joes, or the Jerry and Joes is what I say. And everything like that. And unfortunately, our Jerry's and Joes just aren't our Jerry's and Joes this year.
No.
And look, this is prove me wrong, Debo. Prove me wrong. I would love nothing more than to come on the show on Tuesday and say I was wrong. I would love nothing more, Jamie. I will gladly fucking say that on Tuesday.
I know. If we somehow win this game, I will be ecstatic. I will this will be the win of the year.
Biggest signature Shanahan win in the regular season. I know there's been games with a lot more at stake and everything like that.
It's up there.
But
it would be up there.
I mean, you pull this off. You go on the road to Buffalo in the snow. The freezing cold and everything
off
like that.
a hot run, and they just keep going the next few games.
This is.
I mean, it
if we
some
go on
momentum back into the team that they need desperately.
If we go on and we ultimately do end the quest for 6 this year, this will and it started like we can circle this game and say this is when the season changed and everything like that. This will be one of the biggest games in franchise history. I don't think I'm saying hyperbole. This might be one of the biggest regular season wins in franchise history, at least in my lifetime.
Yeah, if it happens, it could. We'll have to see.
So I mean, ultimately fantasy points, Brock 18.63.
I don't really think you're playing any Niners besides Brock, maybe Jennings, and Kittle.
Yeah. I mean, Jason, this is one of the reasons why Jason does this slide. I don't play fantasy football, y'all. So, and then betting lines. This is actually
a little bit.
My second favorite shit. This is actually one of my favorite segments. Bills -7. I honestly, I either think we're gonna get blown out or Niners win by like 4 points. I think I have the score on my pregame final score prediction. I think I have it like 31-27 Niners, I think, or 31-28 Niners. 44 points. So you think the Niners cover? I think the Niners. I don't. If we're gonna lose, I just don't see us losing by 7 points. I see us losing by more.
Yeah, if we lose, we're losing by more. Yeah, I agree with that. I feel like it's either going to be a blowout or we're going to win a really, really close game.
Exactly. 44.5 points. In that weather, I'm taking the under.
It's a little high for the weather.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. CMC anytime touchdown. I'll take that just simply because I think this is a game where CMC gets 25 carries. They're going to run CMC into the ground this game.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
Brock rushing 17 yards. I'm taking that all day, every day. Give me Brock with 17 yards. Yep. Fuck yeah. Jennings 50 yards. Give me that all day.
Yep.
Let me see. So that's our betting. And then my favorite segment, although I disagree with one of these picks, because I could have swore he was a Niner fan. Bills fans, well, first I want to talk about this and then we'll get to this. Look, y'all know I'm an asshole, bruh. If you're not a Niner fan, I don't really fuck with you. For the most part. Everybody who knows me knows that, bro. I'm a fucking asshole when it comes to opposing teams. I don't give a fuck. That's just who TJ is. I will say this. I tip my cap to Bill Mafia. When they found out what happened with Charvarius Ward's daughter and the fact he was playing Sunday, they went ahead and donated, I don't know how much, but they donated money to his foundation. Class act move. Bill's Mafia. Like,
and that's
like
a very signature Bill's Mafia thing to do. They do that for a lot of people. They've done that for a while now. That's been a thing. So I will say, like, I prefer, like, their fan base is cool. They do a lot of really good stuff for donations and for people who need help and stuff like that. So, and I always admire that.
I will say that that's a class act move, bro. That's a class act.
Very classy, very nice.
And I've never heard anything like it's like going into the black hole or anything. Going with Bills, Dolphins, or the Patriots, or the Jets. Things would be a little, or the Cry Girls. Think about how bad they probably hit the Cry Girls, bro. Or the Giants. I raise my glass and I tip my glass to y'all. That's a classy move, bro. That's a classy move.
Nice.
I just wanted to make sure
it's a nice thing to do. It's a good thing to do, and I really think it's a cool thing to, like, unify your fan base to do something positive, for somebody who's gone through, who either needs help or gone through a very tragic thing or something like that. It's very nice.
I will always respect people who ride and die with their teams. I will always respect, like, hey, bruh, I remember I was chopping it up with this Cry Girl fan at Levi's. We're talking shit back and forth and everything like that. And he looked at me and he had a beer in his hand and everything. And I had a beer in my hand. And he goes, you know what, brother? He goes, ain't nothing I can do to make you a Cry Girl, Cry Girls fan. And I said, absolutely fucking not. I was like, this shit's inked on my skin, brother. Like, even if I wanted to, I couldn't, And then he goes, there's not a damn thing you could say to make me a Niners fan. I said, probably wouldn't even try and everything like that. And he goes, I respect that. And, reached out his beers and gave me a cheers. And I cheersed him back and everything like that. So, classy move, Bills Mafia. Like, that's what's up, bro. That really is what's up. I don't get really touchy-feely about other fan bases and everything like that, but that's a class act move, bro. All right, so last segment before we rock and roll up out of here. Wolf Blitzer did not know he was a Bills fan. William Feitner, I'm gonna butcher some of these names, y'all. Y'all gotta forgive me. Did not know he was a Bills fan. Chris Berman is not a from the Bay Area, so he can hold up his certificate of membership to the Bills Mafia all he fucking wants and everything like that. Chris Berman grew up a Niners fan. He's from the Bay. At least that's what I've always heard. And of course, the total package, Lex Luthor, did not know he was a Bills fan or anything like that. But I always like this segment because I kind of always like to know, like, like the Cardinals. You know what I'm saying? I've never met a fucking Cardinals fan in my whole entire life. Yeah. Like I've legitimately never met anybody that was like, yeah, bro, I'm a Cardinals fan. Besides my family and one of my homies.
See who what. That is cool.
Yeah, obviously we know when we get to the Lions, we already know who their most famous fan is, and everything, and that's legit. Yeah. Like that's legit. Eminem's a legit. I know some homies that were, I know the people he was flipping off last year and everything like that. Anyway, I think Marshall might find out the Bay Area ain't as Niner fans aren't as wine and cheese as the reputation that precedes us and everything like that. But all right, Jamie, I appreciate you joining me this segment. Final thoughts as we review and get ready for Sunday.
I know it's been a rough patch that we've gone through the last few weeks. A little bit, really the season for most of it, but we'll see. Maybe something crazy will happen. At least since it is a weather game, those are always something insane always ends up happening. So it'll probably be entertaining at least. I feel so. We'll see, and just have faith. We'll see what happens. And that's always my motto: is just try to stay as positive as you can. I know we've been a lot of people have been. I think everybody's just trying to be a little bit more realistic because we see how crazy everything's been going. So it's hard, but you never know what could happen. I mean, look
I
at the
mean, the
what was it,
thing,
the 2017 season? We were struggling, and then we won like what 5 or 6 games at the end of the season. So who knows?
it
Who knows
was,
what could
it
happen?
was, it was, I believe 6 out of our last 8 or 9 or something
Something
like
like
that.
that, yeah.
We started with the Giants game, then I think we lost like 1 or 2. Jimmy comes in, we
I
win 5
still
games
remember
in a
that
row.
Jaguars game. I will never forget that game.
That honestly, I'm not gonna lie, that game was the one that made me think like Jimmy was real deal. That's the one that if you were a Jimmy Garoppolo fan, that's probably the game that you had your hat on the most.
My
Because he looked
cousin
legit that
was
game.
over, and I wasn't. Cause I don't even know if I was doing it with you guys yet or not. But
No,
I
no, you
was
came at
afterwards.
the NFC Championship game against the Whackers. Because I
Okay.
remember your first assignment was to write the post game report.
Oh, that's right. And so I was watching it, and I don't know if I was watching it or kind of keeping an eye on it. And my cousin, who was over for the holidays at that time, came into the room. He's like, "Dude, you have to come see the game." Or I was watching it. He came into the room. He's like, "Oh my god, you guys are winning!" Because the Jaguars were hot that year.
They went to the AFC Championship game that year.
I think that's right. Yeah, they went far
They went
that
to the
year.
AFC Championship game that year.
Yeah. And
Because
so
they had Jalen
he was
Ramsey.
he was shocked. And then some of the throws that Jimmy made were were nice. And so that was
What's up,
an
bud? How you
insane
doing?
game. I still every once in a while look at highlights from that because that one was that was a fun game to watch.
I was curious if we had won a game with Tom Brady on the broadcast. I thought we didn't, but yeah. So yeah, that was the one. I remember I was writing for Nothing But Niners. I started writing for Nothing But Niners in 2018. And one of my first assignments was to write like either after Jimmy's contract or like why the Niners should sign Jimmy or something like that. And a couple of those throws in that Jaguars game, I remember them cutting up GIFs of it and putting it in the article and everything, because that's the game I mostly made my argument for was that Jaguars game. Yeah, I'm with you, Jamie. Look, when you're only one game out of the division and you still got to play 2 other 3 teams in the division, and even the worst was we split with the Seahawks. Yeah, it's not over until it's over.
Exactly.
Even if we lose this one, the wild card gets a little rough, and everything like that. Since we don't play, we lost the tiebreaker to both Minnesota and the Whackers, and we don't play Washington this year. The wild card gets a little tough, but I still put my faith in the division. I still put my faith in the division, even if we lose this game. All right, Jamie. Thanks for coming on, love. We'll catch you tomorrow.
Sounds good. Yeah, I will be on tomorrow for the presser stuff.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Thank y'all for joining us. I know this wasn't quite what everybody's used to, and Jason's better at this shit than me. I appreciate y'all. We will have the captain back on Tuesday. All right, y'all. We shall see y'all then. Till then.